Let's have a look at our first semi. Check it out. Sally Fitzgibbons going back to the CT. She's locked in. Noah Klapp, what a story it's been from her. And she doesn't seem overawed at all. Just over here cruising, not really on the challenges. Looks like Sal with a bit of interest here as we get our first real good look at conditions. It's Sally Fitz driving with a wrap into the pocket. And again, and she'll whip those shoulders, throwing spray. And then a little bowl for her. A touch sticky there. She just tries to get over a little bit deeper water, but no real surprises to see Sal on the tools.
Scoreboard pressure, and she is away. So a little bit of push to the ocean this morning. The tide will drop, and should be in for some good conditions. There is forecast of wind to come in pretty strong this afternoon, but you imagine will be well done by the time that hits. There's all sorts of action out in the Atlantic at the moment, shaping up to be a massive week for storms and associated swells here in Europe.
Dealing with a bit of that onshore right now. We're having a look at the goofy Noah Klapp. Here she goes, bigger opening section, and a hit off the top, and then finding a little bit of room to swing. She would have liked that wave to go a little more top to bottom. In the end, she kind of joined up the dots pretty well, and she's going to answer.
Sally Fitzgibbons would be huge for Noah Klapp. She surfs for Germany. She lives in Malibu in California. And it's obviously no stranger to running backhand rights. And she's put her backhand to work pretty nicely on her opener. First score in for Sally Fitzgibbons was a 3.17. Still waiting on the number to come in for this wave of Noah's.
Yeah, it gets a little extension up on that white water as well as the west. So to the left as you look out to sea here, could well be an air wind for surfers that do want to rotate on this running right. There will be sections to pop. Beginning of the heat. What happened to Sal here?
I think it might just be this one turn. She's got plenty of body English through that one.
This tide will continue to go out. It will get shallow. Will be some sections to hit with some good impacts, particularly backhand. There's a nice bottom turn. Really nice first turn. And again, straight into a deep bottom turn. And just sort of digs in there with the toes. And on that particular maneuver, the bottom turn's nice and crisp from her. She whips up into the lip and a little snap on dry reef.
All right, here's the replay. Here's that big bottom turn you were talking about, Paul. Almost looks like she's grabbing the rail on the bottom of that one. Transfers all that energy up into the lip, throws plenty of spray as a result. Got another bonus inside section there. Had to eject rather quickly before the rocks came into play, but strong surfing from Noah Klapp, and this is definitely going to be the best wave of the heat so far.
Yeah, good energy, good impetus, and this is actually the same bush she's been riding all week. That Spine Tech, and flicks the finish in there as it gargles right up the reef. Good numbers in for Noah. We'll just appreciate this one more time. The combo off the top, off the bottom is rewarded from the panel to the tune of 6 points. So a little bit of quality there. Meanwhile, speaking of which, driving, Sally Fitz. Good size on this wave. Good speed from Sal into the lip. And smacks that tail. Gets a little drift as well through the lip line. So a good reply from the veteran, Sally Fitzgibbons.
Plus, we've got a little bit before it, so you'd expect this score to go a little bit higher. It's an open face carve, but she did push it, throw a little bit of water before she came up dramatically into the lip, up and over that one. So this is going to really tighten things up. 5.85 the requirement, 20 minutes to run. And we're going to have a very even ball game on our hands when this score drops in for Sal.
Getting the extension. Let's see where it goes numbers-wise. Here's Noah Klapp. Little high line from her. There's that bottom turn. That's really nice. And you see on the backhand, she can just give it a bit more of a crack, particularly with these kind of conditions. She found it here, Binzi. Look at this stuff. Oh,
we've got a bit of a battle on our hands right now.
Air drop out of it as well. Meanwhile, more live action. Here goes Sal off the top. And in full flow, Fitzgibbons on the inside. Really nice turn. Gets good release again. So these two up in the ante here. We'll have a score for each of them. This is fun.
Yeah, so speed burn, flying down the line, deals with some white water. That was a crisp turn. Didn't push it too hard so she could come around and crunch the end section. 2 turns for Sal. She's out there. Was that a little bit of a shoulder dippy, droppy vogue thing there from Sal? Didn't mind it. It was crisp, pushing her hang through its paces. Sal's had a pretty interesting...
I think she'll be looking for 6s and 7s, certainly. In terms of the surfing she's done, the potential we've already seen out there. There's a bit of energy, Binsey, which we like, and here's some motion from Sal. And she goes trucking down the line on a bit of a wobbly one. So just staying in motion there, Sal. She'll pop out in the channel a little wider. Gonna sit there and think about it, or she'll get straight onto it. So into this one. First turn, little check snap. And again, it's a little bit on the face. She hasn't really found lip yet on this one. Just slashing there, but again, a little side to side until the end section, which is a bit more in the lip, but maybe not the speediest or most impactful maneuver. So perhaps not exactly the wave she was hoping for.
Here is the replay of Noah's last wave. So rhythmically going through the motions on her backhand, pushing plenty of water, gets a little bit out of drift, out of the tail. You know, there's advantages and disadvantages to being on your backhand. It is easy to get into that rhythm and just hook one turn after another. Maybe it's a little bit tougher to bring a little bit more variety on the table to the table, because the forehanders can play around with the lip a little bit more. Definite points of difference between Sally Fitzgibbons and Noah Klapp.
She's not a long way back right now, chasing just a 5, 6, 8. Priority is with Sal. She'll use it here, live action. Fitzgibbons swooping into the bowl, banks one off the top, gets that release of the tail, and then carving up in the pocket again, opening up, using the rail, keeping it nice and sharp, and just throwing up buckets of spray. With a little bit of upper body thrown in as well. So start running a little bit out of steam through that middle part of the wave, but good turn done out the back. Really, this is exactly the sort of thing you'd expect her to be doing at this stage, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of a kinked back knee, some flair in that last turn, and then some pure power in the next. Carving away down the line, a little bit of a bobble there, but that's not going to matter in the grander scale of things. It's going to be a very solid wave for Mrs. Fitzgibbons from Giroa on the south coast of New South Wales. A few hours drive south of Sydney. Beautiful part of the world. Wave rich. Pretty hardcore surfing community down that way as well. That was the moment, wasn't it? Drift of the tail. Bringing out that variety that I mentioned, the natural footers.
Some energy on the outside reef here. Sal keeps surfing, it looks like. She's found something on the inside, chin on the stringer for the paddle, and then on the front foot in terms of heading down the line with speed. Meanwhile, here's Klapp on the backhand, on the takeoff, and a quick out. She'll hang on to prio. It looks like Sal's down the wave. She had a quick look to make sure, to identify, and that's not the wave. It looks like we've seen plenty more energy come through as the swell builds throughout finals day here in Ericeira, Portugal. She likes this. So a little double up section for the takeoff.
Oh.
And gets the takeoff wrong.
Oh, yeah, there might have been a few factors there. Nerves. Here she goes once again.
Live action, Sally Fitz with speed, with some steepness on the face, skids the tail, and then the foam climb down the line again. Just driving that board back to the pocket. It'll get steep again in here in another section for her to tee off on. A similar sort of turn that she's been using throughout this heat. Here we go.
That was a big wind-up for this first turn. Wow, big bucket of spray, release the tail, almost a semi-layback kind of jam out of the top of that one. And then a lot of setup work to get to the end section. The wave at Ribera kept pushing, kept running, and allowed Sally to rattle off a couple of more quick turns, but yeah, all the scoring will be from this first jam. Drops the other shoulder, a little bit of drift out of the tail.
First ever Challenger event. Unbelievable finish for Noah Klapp. Third place in Portugal. Brilliant surfing by her, but you have to say Sally Fitz just pure class again. And managing to up her scores throughout that one. Surf really smart, great use of priority, always adding to her total.